The 2012 National Hockey League Draft will be held at the Consol Energy Center this weekend. Now, over the past 2 years, 5 players with Pittsburgh ties have been selected in the first 3 rounds of the draft. That streak could continue this weekend if Wexford's Michael Hauser is selected. The 19-year-old Hauser played in the Ontario Hockey League last season, and he tied a league record with wins at 46. Hauser told me if he's drafted, it will be a family accomplishment.
I'm sure it would mean the world to them. They've, supported me all through my hockey career, and they've been with me through the good times and bad times. And this weekend could be another good time, and we hope it is.
I guess first let's start with this week. You're out here, you're training. I guess there's no rest while you wait for the draft to happen. You just gotta stay ready.
Yeah, I got back into training last week, and a little sore still, but. The season went a little longer this year, so I took a little bit of a break after the season, a couple of weeks off, and then got back into it. And like you said, just kind of waiting the week out to see what happens this weekend.
Now, some of the exercises we saw you do outside, explosion, core. What are you working on there?
It's a lot of everything, to be honest. That was kind of just a warm up there, but Jeremy does a great job of getting you ready for the season. It's really hockey specific. It's a lot of power movements, and a lot of it stems from your core and legs. So he knows what it takes to be an elite athlete, and that's what he gets you ready for.
You mentioned that your season went a little bit longer than normal. I'd imagine that's a good thing because that sounds like playoff hockey. And one of the things that I read is that your season, you really bumped yourself up, especially in the eyes of scouts and NHL teams. What was it about this past season that you did better or improved on from years before?
I think this past season all started last summer, to be honest. Right here, it's kind of one of those things. I knew I'd go in and be playing a lot of hockey this year, and I was ready for that. But last summer I think really got me ready for this past year, and with the strength and endurance, and not getting fatigued throughout the season. I think that was key, and Jeremy helped me stay sharp throughout the season and kept on sending me workouts, and just made sure that I recovered the proper way, and got ready for each next game during the season.
Is there a mental side of that too as well, especially as a goaltender, where you can get fatigued physically, but mentally you can get fatigued if you don't give yourself the proper rest, I guess, and things to think about? Yeah,
there is for sure. I think playing that many games, it's a battle, and especially when you get into playoffs, they're all must wins in the playoffs. And if you lose one early in the series, then you might be playing a little catch up. So you just have to make sure that you're mentally tough enough to forget about the last game, win or lose, play good or play bad, and make sure you're getting ready for the next one.
Have you had an opportunity to talk to scouts, or has it been more NHL GMs? How's that work? What's that process been like as you get ready for the draft, trying to figure out, am I hear my name called, or how's that work out?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple teams. It's my agent talks to quite a bit of teams for me, and especially during playoffs. I think it was a little different last year. I could talk to teams a little earlier because we lost in the first round, but going to the Memorial Cup this year was harder to talk to teams because both my agent and the teams would want you to stay focused on winning hockey games, and that was my goal too. So it was hard to worry about the draft during the playoffs and Mem Cup, but after the season now, it's just been a couple weeks till the draft. So I've been talking to a couple teams, and I've been through this process a couple of times now, but it's an exciting time, and I'm looking forward to it.
I would imagine does it make it even more exciting that it's in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it does. It's pretty special to have it here, and I got a couple teammates coming down for the draft, so I'm excited to see them. And if I hear my name called, I'm actually not going to go down to the draft, but if I hear it called, then it's only a 20-minute drive for me, which is nice. I was
going to ask you, are you gonna go to the draft, or are you going to just kind of sit at home, watch it on TV? You're going to go to the movies? You're going to go fishing, so you only have one person that has a number to get in touch with you? How are you going to play that?
I'll probably be here in the morning on Saturday, and just kind of go home and wait it out there and see what happens. And if I hear my name called, then get dressed real quick and head down to Consol. But if not, then there's certainly other ways to get to my goal. And my goal is to play pro hockey, and London set me up great for that. And whether I get drafted this weekend or not, that doesn't change my goal.
Well, if the Penguins happen to take you on Saturday, I'd imagine you could get a police escort down there. I would think they'd be able to set something up for you.
Yeah, you never know. They have there's some good goalies in your system, but that'd certainly be a dream if I got drafted by my childhood team.
Tell me about your childhood. How do you become a goaltender? Why a goaltender and not a winger?
I think, well, I started playing hockey because my older brother, he started out, and then I just kind of wanted to follow him, and I wasn't the best skater growing up, so my dad, I guess, thought it would be better if I played goalie, not as much skating, just kind of moving around the crease, and I just kind of fell in love with the position, and I didn't like sitting on the bench either, so if you're a goalie, you get to play all 60 minutes of the game, so that was one of the fun things too.
What would it mean to, because I did read an article on you that you grew up, started off in Youngstown,
Yep.
family moved so you could be closer for hockey,
Yep.
and dad still works in Youngstown. What would it mean to mom and dad to have that happen for you?
Oh, I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would mean the world to them. They've, supported me all through my hockey career, and they've been with me through the good times and bad times. And this weekend could be another good time, and we hope it is. And just like they have been, all through the 15 years I've played hockey, they'll be there with me again through these times. And whether it's good or bad, they're going to support me in my decisions after it.
Do you realize I guess the sacrifice? I would imagine you do that they have gone through. Does that weigh on you at all, or is it just, hey, I got to go do? They want me to do this, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I've certainly thought about it. They've given up a lot for me to get to where I am, and my dad drives an hour to work every day just so we could have been closer to hockey growing up, and my mom, I think, was up in London every single weekend this year, and she has a lot of good friends up there now, and she drove 5.5 hours just to see me play each weekend. So I think that right there shows just how supportive they are of me and my hockey.
What was that like to play in a different country, to get yourself prepared to move up that ladder?
It was a little bit different. It was hard to adjust at first, but I think over the past 3 years that London's been great. They've really helped me develop my game, and Mark and Dale, they know what it's like to be a pro hockey player, and they expect a lot out of their players, and they get you ready for the next level after juniors.
What do you think it'll be like if you get that call and it's a GM or someone calling you to tell you that the deal's done, you've been selected?
It'd be great. I wish I could say I hadn't thought about it, but I have a lot. It's it's a moment that I'll definitely never forget. But there's still a week to go here, and I don't want to think about it too much. I'll probably end up driving myself crazy. So just going to try to not think about it too much. And if it happens, that's great. If not, then I'm still going to work just as hard as if I would have gotten drafted.
What would it mean to you to be a part of that legacy that seems to be growing? That every year it's not necessarily surprised to see a player from Pittsburgh have an opportunity to play.
Yeah, it'd be great. They're I played with a lot of them growing up, and there are a lot of my good friends that have gotten drafted into the NHL, and to be a part of that group would be awesome. It'd be an honor, and I know how supportive Pittsburgh is of their hockey players here, and growing up around the city here, it's awesome to be a part of Pittsburgh hockey, and it'd be nice to join some of the other players that have been drafted.
Last question: if you had to self-scout yourself, how would you do it?
I guess I just try to be in good position at all times. I try to give myself the best chance to stop the puck, obviously, and I rely on that based on my movements in the crease. And I guess if there was one thing that I had to work on that's a little bit of a weakness is my puck handling ability.
Well, Mike, wish you nothing but the best. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.